Good morning, everyone. Yeah, thank you for joining us. It's Thanksgiving week, and all of you get up so early. I really appreciate that. So it's good. So we can talk about today's topic for Hopley's webinar today. We'll talk about how to motivate our child. So I'm a mom. I was a Stanford grad. I'm very interested in research. I was a former research engineer before with 4 US granted patents. And I love teaching children. I've been teaching preschoolers for over 10 years. I've been nurturing other young adults and other professionals for over 20 years. It's my joy to share what I've learned and discuss with other parents and see how we can help each other. So back to today's topic. So just want to get us some started. Okay, so you can raise a hand if there's some topics that you think you want to motivate your child. So would it be something about music instrument, like practicing piano or drums or guitars? You can raise your hand if it is your topic of interest. Maybe some language, like learning Chinese, Spanish, or some academics. They want your child to be motivated at school, or in the morning going to school in general, or doing the homework. You want your child to be more focused, do things faster, more independently, or tidying up the room. Yeah, so make sure it does. Yes, it happens to mine too. Yeah, mine was just laughing last night. Going to bed or eating dinner, want to be faster. Want them to be faster, or I'm trying new activities. Sometimes they're not willing to try. You ask them like, do you want to try this? No. Another one, no. And making friends, or the last part I find is very important is like how our child like motivate them to express their feelings and thought at school. Sometimes they just say, I don't know, or it's good, then close the conversation. Yeah, so all of this may be something that we want to motivate our child. Now, second question, what are some possible reasons behind their lack of motivation? Would it be, so just think through right now, just reflect a little bit. Would it be self-esteem, low worth? I met a child, she didn't do really well at school, and her thought would be because of my parents' genes. So she thinks she's not smart and it's not going to be changed. So sometimes like they may have some distorted thought. They don't know the environment can change them. They can do something about it. There are a lot of things actually. Or their lack of the abilities, lack of skills. They don't believe they can do it. Okay, lack of self-efficacy. Or their lack of enjoyment. They don't enjoy it at all. You ask them to practice piano, it's like a chore to them. Or lack of positive past experiences. Like they've been doing it for a long time. They've been working really hard. I know some children, they work really hard to study. They just can't focus. They didn't get a good grade. So, or they join some competition, they keep on losing. So lack of positive past experiences. Or they were just too anxious, too overwhelming. Some kids, like especially the older kids, we talk about it, 9 to 11-year-old, because of the part of their brain development too, they got really overwhelmed, very sensitive to anxiety. So when the test or exam that's very important to them is coming up, they may just walk around. They're so anxious that they don't know where to start. And it seems unmotivated to us. Or too tired, like at night you ask them to go to bed, or with dinner, actually we ask the children, why are you taking so long? They would say, because I'm too tired. Or pressure from parents. Actually, sometimes we don't want to give them pressure, but we want to try to motivate them. But what they receive is pressure. Or peer pressure. They compare themselves with other people or with their siblings. They think, okay, my brother is really smart. Okay, he can get really good score. I'm not going to be as good as him. Or yeah, there can be many other different reasons. So if during this process, when asking us this question, if you can think of some possible reason, you are at a very, very good start in motivating your child, because like you can see there can be many possible reasons, and understanding the reason behind it, then we can show empathy. We can understand more. Why is my child is not motivated before we try to motivate them and find the right way to motivate them. So you all got it. So it's so good. Now, So for parents, what can we do? So since there must be some reason, okay, we need to find out what they need. We don't want to like motivate a child like, okay, this week, like tidying up the room. And then another time, okay, do your homework faster. And another time, eat or practice piano. We don't want to do that. We want to find out what's the root cause of it. So that's a very good saying from a psychologist. So beneath every behavior, there's a feeling. Maybe they are anxious, maybe they are fearful of failing. And beneath each feeling is the need. They may need some help, may need some skills, may need support, extra support. And when we meet the need, rather than focusing on the behavior itself, like what we see they're not doing things that at a pace that we want, we begin to deal with the real cause, not the symptoms. So it's very important when we try to motivate our child, we want to find out why, and then find some ways to address the root cause of it. Now, so in this talk, we will talk about what's our end goals. What does it mean to us, like as parents, to motivate our child? Is it we just want to see behavioral change? Okay, we see, oh wow, my child can be very independent doing the homework. I don't need to care, like persuade or try to push anymore. Or we want our child internally, so not just like outside is like there's a change in the behavior, but internally we want our child to be happy, confident, and resilient. We want them to enjoy what they're doing. We want them to feel confidence, like when they do the work, they got good grade, and then they find out that's their strength, and also resilient as well. We know that that's probably impossible to be good all the time. You can't be number one all the time. So what happens if you becomes like number two, or you didn't do well in the test? Like we want them to be resilient too. So when we try to motivate our child, we want to consider that not just outside, we want to see a change in the behavior. We want them internally to be happy, confident, and resilient. And also we want that overall the process, like when we're motivating our child, we want to reduce the stress, like reduce our parents, like assist our own stress, like in persuading the child every single day, and also stressful for the child too. They want to do good intrinsically. That's their social development. Even though they're really young, from very young to teenagers, they all want to please their parents. That's their social development. So they have stress too when they didn't do well, and then parents, they see that the parents are not happy about it. They have lots of stresses themselves as well. And overall, we also want to have a good parent-child relationship, right? We don't want to motivate our child and then there's crying every day or fights every day. We don't want that. We want to have a outside. So there are four things, like we want outside, there's behavioral change. We want them to be like internally happy, confident, and resilient. We want to reduce the stress on parents and child, and also better parent-child relationship. And there are theories, there are so many ways. So that's why I have this webinar as well, just to share, like there are so many possible ways that we can deal with to motivate our child without tears, okay, or stress. But there are techniques that we can leverage, and some research results that we help us understand more. Why is my child is not motivated enough? Okay, so today we talk about some child brain development, some theories, self-determination, self-efficacy, and we'll talk about some scenarios. All right, so for us, what's our goal as a parent? So why do I want to motivate our child? So is it maybe like, again, some reflection time? We want our child to follow a direction, right? Because we have lots of experiences. We want them to be good. We don't want them to fall behind. But at the same time, sometimes we forget about their feelings. So what our action will be, like we may just keep on bugging the child whenever the child is not motivated. And what's the end result? The child may just feel our pressure. Okay, so this is something we may be doing. I think everyone, myself, did it a lot too. So because at the beginning, what we see is they're not working and they're falling behind. So we are anxious, then we may do this. But this is actually not what we want. We don't want them to have pressure from the parents and not motivated. Okay, another thing, sometimes it's another extreme. Sometimes we feel that, oh, maybe I give them too much stress. And then we say, okay, we just want you to be happy. And then we avoid the non-motivating moments. Okay, we may say, okay, if the child is not good at something, we just like first we will just skip it and without encouraging the child to try. But this way is not good, right? We know that would become lack of resilience. They are actually not happy in the long run. I know many young adults, like they wish, they did literally said that they wish their parents have pushed them a little bit. Then their life will be very different. Like they feel they can achieve more if their parents push them a little bit more. So how to find a balance? What we want is like, we want our child to be self-motivated. We do want to see some results, right? To perform well. And also we want them to be happy. So what can we do? We will support the child with empathy. We talk more about it. And then provide some skills to set the path of success. Okay, we don't want, why they are not doing well? Because they're encountering obstacles that are too big for them to get through. And the end result, if we can do that, that will be, we will have the self-motivated child, and then internally they will be happy, confident, and resilient. Okay, so now let's talk about the child and brain development parts. Okay, so why, what's going on? Like when our child is young, there are actually many things going on in their brain that can affect their motivation or their skill sets. So first of all, the child's ability. Sometimes we assume they can do what we said, and it's not really true. That's a false belief. They are not at the capacity as well as an adult. So one thing we know, I'm sure some of you know already, their prefrontal cortex, the front part, they won't be fully mature till age 25, and it matters a lot. They don't have that, and that part governs the executive functions. So what are executive functions? They do not have planning skills. So when you ask them, okay, Friday you got an exam, okay, they may just procrastinate, and you plan ahead for them because you know you are mature. I'm assuming parents usually is older than 25. We are mature with our life experiences. We know we need to plan ahead. You can't study everything just within a day. You need to plan ahead, spread it out. They don't, okay? They don't get it. So even you persuade them, you tell them, they're still not getting it. So they're not fully mature yet. And so if it affects decision making, should we play more first, or relax first, or to study? Okay, at the same time, as part of this executive function part also affects how we manage emotion. We talk about when a child is anxious, too overwhelmed, then they can't manage the emotion well, then it will affect their motivation. They're just like, you know, that like all of us, I think of ourselves when we are really happy, we think we can do it, and we'll just jump into it, right? But if we think, oh, it's really hard, or today I had many sad moments, we don't want to do anything. Okay, so if the child is lack of that skills to manage emotion, it affects the motivation. So they need some skills. They need quite a lot of skills, actually. They need some executive functions like time management and set goals and plan. They need those skills and to manage emotions. And in this chart, you can see the red part is immature brain, and the purple part will be the mature. So you can see that it's up to like 20-25. Okay, so it's really hard. So it depends on how old your child is. If your child is 5 with lots of red part, and then so you ask them to eat first or play first, they will say play. Okay, and it's very not listening well. It's because they can't get the concept. Why do I need to eat first? Okay, when they're older, they may listen a little bit sometimes, but it will relapse and happen again. So first part is of the brain is the prefrontal cortex. The next part is very important, that will directly affect our child's motivation. It's about the emotion part and the memory. Okay, there's a part called amygdala. So it's in the hippocampus. They're very important because they are actually helping us to detect the danger, and then we will set our mode, like should we fight or flight. Okay, it means like, for example, if we know there's fire over there, we won't touch it, right? So they heighten the emotion, and then they stop doing it. When they see lots of homework, when they see they cannot play piano well, they may enter this mode. Okay, they will sense a danger. Okay, I can't do well. And then they got hijacked, and then they can't play. They got blank, they got very anxious. It happens to my child before too. She allowed me to share. She got a piano exam, and it's coming up, and it's during the pandemic. And it's so hard, like she got lots of other things to juggle already, and she can't remember it well. So she entered this mode, like fight or flight. She can't remember just simply because the got emotion hijacked. And then we need to help them to calm down. So at the end, like my husband and I just like talk with her, calm her and guide her the way to do it. But it happens. So when a child, you see them seems to be not motivated enough to practice or to do to work on the task that they should be doing, maybe they got hijacked, the emotion got hijacked. And another very important thing, if you have children like around 9 to 11 years old, this part of the brain is actually still maturing, but it reached the peak. Like current study, maybe there are other study in the future, is around 9 to 11. It will be mature. What does it mean? When it is mature, it means they're very sensitive to fear and anxiety. And for hippocampus, they remember well. It means like, so they won't, like for a child who may trip before the road, they remember, okay, I need to walk more carefully. If they fell from a monkey bar before, they know to be cautious. So it is something for their own good, to detect the danger, remember it so that they won't make the same mistake again. At the same time, when they feel other things, when we feel, maybe parents, when we sometimes when we may happen yell at the child, or they feel the threatening, okay, this is too hard to do. They remember so well that they feel they cannot do it because it's so overwhelming to them. And for girls, it'll be 1 or 2 years younger to reach the maturity. So you may see like maybe 8-year-old girls, they started having very emotional. You see a change, like they used to do what you ask them to do. Okay, can you practice piano now for 15 minutes? All of a sudden, you see they change. They're not listening, okay? And then they start getting mad because it seems the task becomes very too overwhelming for them. They develop a fear of failing. They see themselves may not be able to do it. They got very frustrated. And then whenever you try to persuade, you try to just remind them, they become so sensitive. They thought it's a threat to them. And then they just reject the idea and react. Okay, instead of responding to you, they react with the strong emotion. So you see lots of kids, like they start to become very emotional when they feel the stress, when they feel the task is too big for them. And so they may procrastinate and then unmotivated because of the fear. They want to do well, but they are scared of not doing well. So what kind of skills do they need? So when we know, so that's why we share with parents now. So when we know that, okay, parents, children at this age, like 9 to 11, they really want to do well, but they become so sensitive and so scared of failing, not doing well, the self-image part, then we need as parents, instead of like persuading them, okay, you may want to do this, we want to show more empathy. Are you very anxious now that you cannot do well? I talked to my child like when she was young. Through the ride, I was told her my own stories too. Like I said, okay, mom, there's so many exams in the world. Okay, when you go through it, who would remember what grade you get in your midterm? If you can do well at the end, okay, there's just one tiny exam. So just enjoy it, okay, study it with your best and do your best in it. If you do well, that's wonderful. If not, there's another exam. So show empathy to them. It's okay to fail. Teach them this concept. It's okay to fail. It's a time of learning. Now we know what we don't know and we can improve. So help them, like show lots of empathy, and then within that part, we need to have the skills to help them change their mindset, because they are so sensitive at that moment, at that stage. They don't even know, okay, because they are growing. They don't even know. Now we know. We help them to overcome that fear. It's okay to fail. And it's a good time to learn. So with the growth mindset, to boost up their self-esteem, to reframe the situation, then they will calm down and feel better and more willing to try and become more motivated. So it's very important. And at the same time, the children do need some anxiety management skills. So because we cannot be around all the time to do the reminder, right? So we need to know, okay, I'm a bit anxious now. Okay, maybe I need to take a deep breath before I take the piano exam, the recital. Maybe before doing homework, I found this hard. Maybe I take a walk. Maybe I drink some water. Maybe after I got home, I know I'm tired right now. Okay, I need to take a break. Mom, can I get a break? Okay, so we want them to know those skills as well. But we want to teach them. So it's very important. And we make sure for parents, we make sure there are times when we see their lack of motivation, it's very easy for us to say, to maybe try to speak a little bit louder. They may sense a fear, we talk about fear, and then sense it as a threatening. And for sure, it won't do well. I don't have enough time to talk about today, but the fear part, it won't be gone. So when that's called fear learning, when they remember that threatening, like more when we say it a few more times or louder, they learn that it's threatening if they cannot do well. And they remember that feeling. So it won't motivate them, it will discourage them. And this is so hard. If you stop doing it, now it's good. But if a person experience a prolonged experience of this kind of threatening, they need a process called fear extinction. They need to unlearn. They need to feel safe again. They need to learn those so this is why anxiety management skill is so important. They still remember the feeling. Okay, when they heard that someone just sent a reminder to them, they feel threatening. And then they need to take a deep breath and reframe it. Okay, mom or dad was just reminding me. They love me. I just need to take a deep breath to calm down. So it's so important not to start from the beginning, not to threaten a child, because they will remember that feeling and become very anxious and oversensitive. And then they need a process to unlearn it. So it's very important for us parents not to threaten, but show lots of empathy and also accept their failure and see how to support them, make them feel safe. It's okay to try. It's okay to fail. We don't want it to be too often, but there are always ways to improve. Now, the next part of the brain will be the pace. Okay, sometimes we see our children, okay, they're doing it already, but not as a pace that we want. Sometimes maybe we feel that they're really slow. Maybe they're eating breakfast, they're not motivated enough to play piano. We thought that they're they also, we talk about the prefrontal cortex part, right? They're not as focused as we want. They got distracted, they do things really slow. And it's part of because of their process of the brain development of the malformation as well. This part is so inside our brain, there's the neuron, the brain cell, and then there's a part called myelination is to like an insulator, so that the signal from one brain cell to another to carry an action, it can be faster. It's like insulated, then really, really fast. But this part of development, this insulation, so make us we can be do the math, like math calculation. You can see some kids may be really slow, and then some kids can be really fast. They got more mature. Of course, practice make it faster. At the same time, if the normal development, you can see from this chart. So for kids 5 to 10 years old, they are only about like 50 to 60%, okay, of an adult. When the brain is fully mature, of efficiency. So when you see them do things slower than you, it is normal. I know it's very hard to accept. Sometimes you think, okay, just grab it or just get to the door. When ask them to go into the car to get ready for school, why are you taking so long? Just brush your teeth, just go to bed. Why everything is taking so long? It's actually normal. The speed is not as fast as us. They're still developing this part. The current research is like mature till around age 30, and it can be speed up if like you ask a child to practice faster, like with encouragement, then they can do things faster. But for normal development process, is like about just for age 5 to 10, you see 10-year-old, maybe 60% of our own speed. So we need to, for us, we need to adjust our expectation. We need to be patient. We need to give them maybe extra time, maybe smaller tasks. Okay, if they can finish a homework, a lot of homework, we think, okay, just 30 minutes, you should be able to finish it. They have, okay, it's easy. It may be easier for us to remember, okay, whatever you can do within maybe 10 minutes, think about they need 20 minutes. Okay, then we give them extra time and adjust our expectation. Then it will feel better and not as stressful because we give them enough time to do it. If they still not be able to do it, there must be some reason. So we'll talk about that. So those are the 3 parts about the brain. We want them to be motivated, not like this, but here. And so a little bit summary. So we need to adjust our expectation. And they can learn some skills to help. And those skills are called social emotional learning skill and executive function skill. So manage emotion, those are social emotional learning. And then executive functions will be like time management, setting goals and plans. Okay, so we have to remember they're not mature yet, the prefrontal cortex. So they lack of those time management skills. And then they may feel very anxious and fear of failing. And because the amygdala is getting mature around 9 to 11 years old, and they still have slower pace than us, okay? Even a 10-year-old, maybe just 60%, okay? So give them more time. And you talk about it, if they learn the skills, actually social emotional learning skills and executive functions, there's the more practice, actually our brain connection will be stronger and the signal from one place to another will be faster. So they can speed up. We want them to be faster, right? At the same time, no stress. Stress will actually do it another way. So we need to find a balance. We encourage them to practice and at the same time, no stress, okay? So then the more they practice, the synaptic connection will be stronger and faster. And we don't need to wait. At the same time, we need to provide the support. They don't feel that fear, okay? We don't want to increase the fear, but we want them to feel the support from parents. So that's a little summary for the brain part. Now let's talk about the second part, some theories. Those are the current theories in motivating children, motivating people to change their habit, even like for unhealthy habit, losing weight, or change your diet, or even smoking. They use those methods, okay? Self-determination and self-efficacy. Those are for the motivation theories that current days are using. So first part, what's the self-determination theory? Okay, it's been started from 1985 and revised a few times. The most recent one, 2017. Autonomy. There are 3 parts for motivation, okay, this theory. First part, autonomy means the child has a choice. Sometimes as parents, we want to do things for them. We plan ahead. Okay, today you need to do this. This won't motivate a child. They need to feel they have a choice. What to do, when to do. For example, set the timetable, encourage them, do it with them. Okay, they need guidance, do it with them. When would you like to do the homework? How much time you see you need to do the homework? Ask them, do you need playtime? Add into your schedule. Let them fail. Okay, they may not do a very good job at the beginning. Let them try a few times. But once they feel they are in control, they are the one who make the choices, which one to do, which one not to do now, which homework to do first. That's the autonomy. They will be self-motivated. Second part, they need to have relatedness, have a social group to do it together. They feel that they belong to a social group. So if possible, for example, learning Chinese or piano practice, I know why are they difficult, but for some group sports, you've seen it, there's no problem about the motivation. They like to do it in a group, like but individual lessons, sometimes it's hard, okay? So it's normal for for us to know they need some group supports, then they can do things together. That will motivate them. They practice, if possible, some play group or hangout time, if possible. If they don't have other friends, do with them. Practice piano with them, and do so that they are not alone, okay? They need the group, the social support. And the third part will be competence. They need to feel that they can do it, okay? They have the strength to do it. They have the skills. And we talk more about it. For example, a child, if the person can, you want them to do math faster, but they keep on like very slow, they just like maybe 2 + 2 + 2. But for people who recite the multiplication table really fast, really well, okay, they have the skills, they learn the skills. They will feel good because they can do well. They have the competency. They know they can do it. So now they have a choice. They have a group support and they have the strength. They know they can do it. They will be motivated. Now, this part about strength will fit into more. Some people just talk about self-determination theory, but I found that it's important. Like, how will help the child build the strength? And this is the self-efficacy theory developed by a Stanford a professor. He passed away last year, but it's so important that what he talked about. What is self-efficacy? How can we help our child believe I can do it? Sometimes when we try to encourage our child, we say, you can do it. And then they still say no. How can we encourage them in a way that they believe they can do it? First thing, they need to have positive self-experiences. So we want to create them. Sometimes we need to be very intentional. So did they get an A before? Did they got a good grade before? Put it in front of them, remind them, encourage them, so that they remember the past positive experiences. Sometimes you see when we play with our child when they're young, sometimes when we make it easier to let them win, okay, so that they feel, oh, I can do it, and then they become more self-motivated. So that's the first part. We need to somehow find a way so that to give them some positive experiences to count on, to recall, so that they know they can do it. There are 4 steps, okay? This is the first one. Second one, they need to know it's possible not just for me, but from other people. They see them, they worked hard, they got a good result. So some positive outcomes. So maybe another child, okay, also recite the multiplication table. Oh, and then that person can do the math question really fast. Maybe join the math competition. Oh, that child maybe practice maybe piano for 2 hours a day. Oh wow, then that child can win. So let them see some success stories. Other people can do it. Sometimes it's hard to find those stories. Recall your own childhood. Like, what did you do well? Okay, talk with other people. Share with your child your own success story as well. Then they can be motivated. They can see that it's something achievable. Okay, it happened. And it can help them to see that they can do it. The third one is for us. This is very important for parents. We want to affirm our child. We want to affirm them. Okay, sometimes, it's hard. Sometimes we may actually say the other way. Okay, if you continue to be not playing piano or not doing your homework or eating slowly or not tidying up the room, you'll be like this. It's important for them to know the negative consequence, but at the same time, we want to affirm them more. Okay, so for positive emotions, you need 3 to 1. Okay, you need to affirm them, like three positive emotions to outweigh 1. If we said that you can do it, remember, say 3 times more to say you can do it, to kind of outweigh it. Okay, this is from another researcher called Dr. Barbara Fredrickson. So it's very important to affirm our child so that they know from the person whom they love and respect a lot. Okay, even whatever they say, they may show attitude, intrinsically they love their parents a lot. Whatever we say has a very, very healthy way. So it's very important for us, like, to be mindful about what to say, encourage our child. So this is something I practice in my own family. We practice affirming each other, saying each other's strength with my husband as well. We take turns every night. What you did well, encouragement to each other every night, to affirm each other. We need those kind of affirmation because there's so many things that we may encounter. Our children at school, they may feel really upset. Oh, today when I raised my hand, the teacher didn't see me. Or I talked to my friends, but my friends didn't hear me or didn't have lunch with me. There are a lot of negative experiences already. They need a lot of affirmation, encouragement to outweigh that negative feelings. And then especially for things that they haven't been doing well, they know they didn't do well already. They need a lot of encouragement to tell them that you can actually do it. So call out all past positive experience to affirm them. Let them see pictures, trophies. You are able to do it, okay? Affirm them. Now, the last part would be the physiological feedback. It means like manage emotions. So that's why you can see from the beginning to now like the prefrontal cortex and now the self-efficacy theory, emotions is so important. We do need to teach our child how to manage emotions. when they didn't do well, they're really upset already. So you can see them, whatever they're not doing well, it takes longer time. And they sometimes overwhelmed by disappointments, by anxiety. And then they are not motivated. So we need to teach them, okay, if you keep on practicing, going back to piano, because it happens to so many kids, and do well this time, take a deep breath, try again, manage emotion, tell yourself, this time I didn't do well, it's okay, I can try, practice again, and then see if there's improvement. Tiny improvement, always praise your child. So affirm them even for a little bit of improvements. And it helps them to manage your emotions, help them see the success that they have. Okay, they need a lot of those encouragement, positive past experiences, manage their emotions well, and knowing how other people in a similar situation can succeed. So that's self-efficacy. So with those theories, those are the steps to help our children. So a little summary from the beginning from the brain development side, we need to adjust our expectation, be patient. Okay, because they're slower. They're still developing at most about 60% of how the pace of what we parents are doing. We teach them skills. They need the executive function skills. They need the social emotional learning skills. Manage emotions, manage your time, set goals and plans. They need second step, give them choices. Okay, that's the self-determination theory. Give them choices. Let them choose when to start, how much to do it. Affirm the strength, okay, both the self-efficacy and self-determination theory. Let them know the past experiences, positive one, share other people's success stories, your own stories, grandparents' stories. Affirm your child's strengths, okay, what he or she is good at. Maybe not playing piano well yet, but you can say, oh wow, you can sit there for so long, okay, some tiny bits to encourage them. They can do the big task of finishing the piano piece well, but maybe you can, from sitting well, okay, from focusing on the listening to the teacher for that half an hour, okay, tiny bits. Affirm them, some small steps that you've been doing right already in order to achieve that big improvement. Then we can motivate them. And also, very importantly, again, teach and guide them to manage emotions. Lastly, help them to practice with other people so that they are not alone. If we can find other children who are learning similar skills to practice with them, practice with your child. Occasionally, it's good too. Ask them to teach you, or at least be their audience. Okay, sometimes it's hard, and be with them, appreciate them. Then they're not alone. Okay, they need that social support in order to be motivated. So 4 steps: adjust our expectation, learn the social emotional learning and executive function skills, give them choices, affirm the strength, practice with other people. Now let's talk about a few theory, how to apply, and then I'll take some questions. Okay, so for example, this one, going back, practice, adjust our expectation, be patient with them. If they can't do, you keep on asking them and they keep on delaying, you can ask about their feeling. Are you anxious right now? Are you afraid of not doing well? Are you tired? Okay, be patient with them, and ask them to set the goal. When they set the goal, sometimes the goal is too big. That's why they feel anxious and overwhelmed. So maybe smaller steps. Okay, do you want to maybe today just practice one piece? Maybe just for 15 minutes, maybe just 10 minutes. That was small. You can incrementally add more, but now start with small so that they feel they can do it. We need that belief to help them to be motivated. And then give them choices. How do we give them choices? Okay, let them choose when to start, when to practice, Monday to Friday, how many days a week you think you need. Okay, set a goal, and also choose which song to practice, how long, and continue. For us, use the empathy. When there's a disagreement, they say maybe 5 minutes, you say, oh, that's not enough. It happens in many parents. Yeah, it happens because we know, we talk about it, our brain is mature, we know it's realistic or not. They don't. You ask them like how much time you do your homework, they can't tell you. So there's a difference over there, but we use empathy. Okay, we don't threaten them or challenge them or think they're wrong. But we use empathy and some joint problem skills and set the limit. How you do it? Acknowledge your feelings first. Is it because you think it's too hard, so you want to have just 5 minutes? Is it because this song you have never learned before? Or are you exhausted right now? Are you because you don't feel this week you have enough time to play? There must be some reason. So acknowledge the feelings first. If they say, Mom, I'm tired, can I take a break from today? I really find it hard. Acknowledge first. Okay, you don't need to give it, but acknowledge, oh, I see, you're really tired today, huh? This week you just finished like the whole day of school and different activities. Now you find that you don't have the energy to practice. Acknowledge your feelings. And then communicate the limits, like that's called ACT. That's something we healthy learning teach your parents, like how to set the limit. Communicate the limit. You can say, okay, 5 minutes, sweetheart, I really found it. I know you must be really exhausted and tired, but 5 minutes, is actually may not be enough. You sit down there, open the book, it costs you 2 minutes already. I think it's not enough, and I worry that you may not be able to practice well before the next lesson. Do you think 5 minutes works? And then let your child choose, okay? You can give some suggestion or ask your child suggest, what do you think? Do you think maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes will work better? Let them choose, okay? You can give them some choices. They can give some choices. And then let them choose. So, for example, I know you're frustrated because you have been practicing a long time. Maybe some kids, they've been practicing the same piece long time, but still didn't sound right, okay? Then you can say, but the limits now, if we don't practice, we will for sure not getting better. So don't say, so don't skip if possible. And how about we just set a goal to practice the same song today, and just for a few minutes, okay? So give them choices, and then affirm the strength. All right, name your child's past experience. Talk about pieces that he mastered before, and share other people's success stories. Like you can Google online. Like for example, this person Vanessa, she's like 7 years old, and she really wanted to play piano well. And then she was not able to play because her mom did not allow her to play. And then 4 years of hard work, she can become a really successful piano player. So there is possible. Okay, even you can't do well right now, it doesn't mean you can never do well. If you work hard, you can. So give them some success stories, and then affirm your child's strengths. Okay, remember small thing. Okay, you can locate this key is already a success. They may find, oh, even that small thing you think is good. Okay, they may say it. They still want to hear it. So affirm even small steps, very important. And then guide your child again to manage emotions. Okay, take some deep breath, take a walk if you need it. And then if some possible, practice with other people. If it is hard, practice with your child, or bring your child to like concert to see how other people play. So in a group setting, so that he or she is not learning that task alone, then the child will be motivated. So next one with Chinese homework, because some of it is a struggle for many kids too. Again, be patient. Okay, first step, set the goals, maybe just half a page. We went through many children, okay, for us healthy learning. We have many children encounter this problem. Okay, sometimes they talk about it. It's too hard, too many. I need to write a lot of words. First again, and give them choices. Okay, set the table, choose how many pages to write. We do see, like recently we have a child who said it's really hard, not like in Chinese anymore, and she decided, she's the one who decided how many pages. Okay, it's actually the same as what parents suggested, but we let her choose, and then she still choose the same one. Okay, it's half a page a day. At the end, just a few weeks after, she completed her homework and with 100%, and write so neatly, and then show it to other people. That's the joy. If you give them choices, they find that they are in control. They'll be motivated. They will regulate their behavior, change their own behavior. Okay, if for example, actually we go through it, the child actually say, I suggest other solution other than like doing half a page. She actually doesn't want to take the Chinese anymore. But we need to let them know, okay, so I know you really find it really hard, it's very tiring. How about and then communicate. But if we don't learn, we will never be better. Okay, we don't practice, we won't remember those words, how to write those words. So we do need some practicing, and then give some alternatives. So you suggest a few, let them suggest a few. Then they feel that they're in control, the self-efficacy part and determination part. They are the one who determine. Okay, why is it called determination? They self-determine what to do, when to do it. Then and also then they are motivated, and also affirm the strength. Okay, affirm them. Okay, name the past experience. You got 90% before. Name success stories. Other people who were in the same class can now do really well. They can learn pinyin now. Affirm the strength. Okay, even very small things related to that big task. Okay, very small thing. You know this word. You even know that word in English, the meaning of it. Some small things. Okay, small things. Affirm them. And then manage emotion again, okay? Because when they are learning, so important, when we motivate our child, one of the reasons failing is their emotions. They feel they're not doing well. They know, we've been reminding them, actually, and whenever we try to motivate them, we are kind of reminding them that they're not doing well. So that's something we want to change. Like, instead of just reminding that part, they know it, and we try to motivate it with this way. Another part is like to understand their feelings. Okay, how can I help you? Show empathy. I know you've been working hard, and affirm them what they've been doing well and right already, so that they see parents are very standing on their own side instead of like the opposite side, saying they're not good. We are seeing the good thing in your child, and practice with other people if possible. So why are we talking about theories? So this is pretty almost the last part. So their status, okay, those are the scientific proven ways that work. Is the recent one, 2015, from University of Texas. It's combining lots of studies over the last 25 years. So there are 36 studies. They're longitudinal, so over a decade to study people. If they use the method, the self-determination theory that we talk about, like the autonomy, let the child choose, give them choices, okay, and then support group, social relationship group, and feel that they're not doing alone, and also the competency, the self-efficacy, knowing that they can do it, okay, help them see how they can do it. What's the positive outcome? Academically, they can have a better achievement. They will be self-motivated. They will, remember we talked about managing emotion? They will have a very good psychological health. And, more, okay? They can perceive themselves competent. They will have a good confidence, okay? We talk about we want our child to be happy, confident, and resilient. This help, okay? They can see they can do it. They are in control, self-efficacy part of the situation. Now they know if they fail this time, they know they're in control to change, okay? Rather than waiting for parents to help them change your schedule to make it better, or they feel frustrated because they don't think they're out of control. They can't change the result. We want them to see, okay, this time you are the one making the timetable. There's not enough time to practice. That's why you didn't get a really good result. Next time, you can adjust your timetable. You are the one. You can change it. Maybe study harder, maybe longer, okay? Then they can motivate themselves, and they will be more willing to try. We talk about some kids not motivated because they're afraid of failure. If they know they're in control, they will be more willing. And attitude towards school is huge improvement as well, and they can self-regulate, okay? Self-regulate the emotions, self-regulate their time. Very important. That's all what we need. And at the end, they will have very good the executive functioning. We talk about the 25 years old. You don't need to wait till 25, okay? You can speed up, you teach them the skills, okay? Then it will mature faster. And so what we want and goal, we want our child not just behavior change outside. Overall, internally, we want them to be happy, confident, and resilient. We talk about those theories: child development, brain development, self-determination, self-efficacy. And we want, for us parents, adjust our expectation. We do provide, I don't want to just like say the theory and then without giving you a tool. So we do have a tool. We offer parent-child coaching class to teach your child those social emotional learning and executive function skills. Give them choices, give your child choices. This is something we can teach. This is what parent needs to do. Give them choices, okay? Affirm them. We teach this lesson, we teach parents how to affirm them as well. Say what you see they do well, okay? What their strength, find their own strength, and talk about the situation, because you're helping people, you're kind. Practice with other people. So and relapse happens, okay? So this is a theory. We won't talk much today. Maybe at another time. For your child to change after today, you try those methods. You may not see it right away. For younger kids, it will be faster. For older kids, it takes some time because they got failure for quite a long time already. You need to affirm a lot. There's a process called 5 stages of change. The first part is they need to think about they can do it first. And then second part, they are still juggling. They are still ambivalent about it. Can I really do it? So affirm, lots of affirmation. And then they may prepare. You see them not tidying up the room, they may be thinking about it, but not at your time, okay? It takes a month, okay? The theory set of the first part, maybe they may take the action in 1 month to 6 months. Even they plan to do it, okay? But we didn't see the results, that's still not clean, okay? And then they will take the action. Action time, they may take like 6 months, they may do it, and then maintenance stage, it will relapse. It means like, okay, just like us too, we may try to get up in the morning. There are times that we feel we can do it. We may want to take a break, okay? Day 2, sometimes they've been working hard, okay? And then they suddenly, you see them, oh, not motivated again. It's normal. It is normal. We need to identify the trigger. Is it because this week is too tired? We are too busy because there's exam coming up? There must be some reason. We need to identify a trigger. And I'm so glad, like I will actually talk with this professor who created this model many years ago, 1977, but it's still widely used in all behavioral change, in like changing the health, changing the social habits, changing the whole organization. And I will talk with her wife as well. Her focus was about children and families. How can we apply those 5 stages of change to help our child change behavior? That would be another talk. So if interested, you feel free to talk more. You can fill out, we have an assessment form on our website, and I can arrange a 15-minute consultation with you. So now I'm taking questions. So if you have, sorry that we have a bit over time. So I will pause here so that all of you can feel free to ask any question you may have. Thank you for attending to this morning's early morning webinar.